apparently another one of Fujimoto's works is currently being adapted, and it's kind of funny I'm seeing this today because I remember a while back one of the main people at MAPPA said how they wish to adapt every work of Tatsuki Fujimoto, including the one-shots, and now a completely new anime studio just swept it away from them, and no one expected this at all. Anyways, in this video I'm going to go over Look Back, a 2021 one-shot done by Tatsuki Fujimoto that follows two 4th graders who discover their passion for drawing manga, and basically the story revolves around their whole rivalry. But of course, it contains a classic Fujimoto twist that you find in most of his works, so I can't dive too much into it as you can imagine, but if you are interested, you should definitely check it out yourself. It's a really quick read. Assuming that most people have read this though, I do think this is one of Fujimoto's stronger works, mainly in its art style. And what I mean by this is very similar to Tatsuki Fujimoto's other one-shot Goodbye Eri. And here I'm referring to the paneling itself. There's this really cinematic approach to how the characters are drawn and framed in the panels. You see a lot of close-ups that give you this really intimate feel every time you flip through the pages. It also takes its time by displaying the passage of time through empty and very similar panels that have very few things changed between them, which makes for a really cool artistic choice, but at the same time it makes sense from a pacing point of view because this was a one-shot at the end of the day, and Fujimoto is not limited by a weekly release where he is restricted by a certain amount of pages per chapter, so I do believe this is a huge strength of his. But yeah, the spreads in this are just fabulous, and the best way I could describe it, it's that it's just like a movie but in manga format. Now enough about the art itself, let's talk about the story, which is very tightly written. And I mean, fair enough, it's a one-shot, it tells you a story on its own and it's not a sequel or anything. It's a complete full circle story that doesn't have any loose ends or doesn't really try to tell you any more than you should. When I first read it back in 2021, I was really amazed by the realism of it and how real each of the scenarios felt that our characters are going through. I would like to say that it's a bit unlike Fujimoto, but you can't really say that because he always integrates those realistic aspects into his characters. But I guess what I really mean is that it feels quite grounded, and the approach to tackling those aspects and themes are way more realistic than in some of his other works. Even Goodbye Eri has some weird supernatural elements to it. If you know, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that even that one is very grounded as well. So I guess it's more of a style he takes when writing one-shots and not complete long format stories. Now, as I said before, this is going to be adapted by Studio Durian, and honestly, when I first heard of this, I was like, who the hell is that? So I just did my research, and apparently this is going to be their first anime project. They have worked on anime before, but they were never the main production company. They just helped with backgrounds or small sequences here and there. So it's quite interesting to see how well they're going to do, mainly because it's in a movie format, and usually, I don't know about you guys, but the way I see anime movies is that you need to have a really good team to work on it, to make sure you're not messing things up, that you're delivering to the audience, from pacing to the directing. But from the teaser itself, it seems like they are going to take a very realistic approach with the movement and the color grading, and I'm honestly excited to see which animator is going to work on this and who is really going to be the director. I say that because that's probably the most important thing of all, and you already know I'm going to get straight into it once all of the names are revealed. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, to finalize things, while I do consider stuff like Goodbye Eri a bit better and more up my alley, I do think this is a very good read, and I can understand if people prefer this one over a lot of other Fujimoto works. But look, I don't want to start some debates and compare the two, but I just can't help myself because they are both one-shots and they are both quite similar when you think about it. Anyway, if you guys want me to make a video about Goodbye Eri as well, then you can let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll do something special for that, because I absolutely love these short stories from Fujimoto, and I really think they're one of the better stories he's written. But yeah, that's enough for today. If you found this video interesting, make sure you hit the like button, and while you're at it, maybe the subscribe button as well, because I'm trying to hit the 1K sub goal as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching this video till the end. See you guys next time. Later.